Good morning. It's June. No, you haven't tuned into a different video or the wrong video. Today I am dyeing up the June Patreon mini skeins. I post these a month later, the videos. I post the videos a month later, so the surprise isn't ruined. Does that make sense? I was kind of struggling for ideas for June, and a bunch of people, and I asked in April's video for some ideas. Was it April's video? Yes, it was. For some ideas, and a lot of people said beach and seaside. Now, I am British and therefore consider June to be late spring as opposed to summer. Like, I know it technically is summer and the longest day is in June, but our weather is terrible. It's currently the 9th of June and it's very overcast. I've put yarn outside to dry, Advent yarn, and I'm very concerned it's going to chuck it down at some point. So I wasn't thinking seaside, but we're going seaside. I'm thinking like British seaside. I grew up in Bognor. This is a terrible angle. I grew up in Bognor Regis, which is a butt of many jokes, and it's a seaside town. It's improved a lot since I moved. I don't know if that says anything about me, but when I was living there, it was very run down, like a lot of British seaside towns are. They just don't get the tourism that they used to get, and therefore the money's not put into it like they used to be. But I asked people for British seaside things. Not British seaside. I said beach, and then I did specify I'll probably lean more British seaside. If you're new here, hello. I don't know why you would be. These are my least viewed videos of the ones that I post, which makes me really sad. People love a yarn dyeing video. Maybe I market it wrongly. That could be me. If you're new here, hello. I have a Patreon tier called the Chai Latte Minis. People last month asked when more slots open up, but when people leave, I'm currently maxing capacity at 80 in total. And that may change in the future, but at the moment this is a very manageable amount for me to do every month, so we're sticking with 80. And it's 3 mini skeins. I don't write the recipes down, and you get 3 mini skeins a month as well as a bonus video every week. So yes, so I said scroll. We're going seaside theme for June, although I think of June as late spring and not beach weather. Send me your seaside inspo pics. I may end up picking some of my own and leaning into the British seaside since I grew up in Bognor Regis. And I also have July and August themes picked, so hang on to your cocktail and ice cream pics. Delightful. So, a lot of people sent some really beautiful seaside pictures. Stunning. Stunning. Beautiful. But I am also, so I'm going to use one of these beach pictures and just do general beach. Just maybe this one's quite pretty. This one's quite pretty. But also I'm a bit torn whether to do. I'm going to do donkey rides, because I don't know if it's still a thing. It wasn't a thing on Bognor Beach growing up, but I know it is a very British thing, having donkey rides on the beach. So I'm going to do donkey rides and either a stick of rock or arcade, for a pier arcade. But I might do stick of rock. It's a bit more British. And maybe call it Brighton Rock. If you know the band, they have a song called Brighton Rock. You very much win. I listened to them whilst I was in labour. And yes, beach themed is the goal for today. I've been to the dentist this morning. I rinsed an oven of yarn. I put this all on to soak. I've been to the dentist. It's now 11:05. What a morning. Beach themed yarn, let's go. I cannot believe it's the end of July. Where has July gone? The Pickle's birthday was at the beginning of the month, and all of a sudden here we are at the end, and I feel like barely any time has passed. But hey, whatever. Every month they say the same thing. I think this is just what getting old and getting in a routine is. Anyway, stick of rock. Now, I don't know, is this a thing that people have everywhere? It's very common with the seaside. It's usually mint flavoured. It's essentially a rod of sugar that's mint flavoured. I don't know why mint is the flavour of choice, but you can get strawberry. Like, obviously there's other flavours as well, but I seem to remember mint being the most common. There's usually words going through the middle of it. And commonly it's where you've bought the rock from. So Brighton ones would have Brighton written on, or where I grew up in Bognor Regis, it has Bognor Regis written on. And yeah, they're just a variety of fun colours. So I thought that would be quite a fun one to do. The first colour that I've used is Colourcraft Lemon, which is fun. It's a fun colour, but it's not very bright. I had to use quite a lot in order to get it to be this vibrant. Also, disastrously, I didn't talk about it. I think it's because I was embarrassed at the time. I'd forgotten to put my oven on. Usually I put my oven on when I get in the dye shed, and I had forgotten. Obviously, as it heats, I don't know what happens to the oven, but when it's cold and you put a tray of yarn in, the trays don't fit as well. I get metal expands when it's warm. That's what I'm trying to say. And I got distracted because I sat down to record this voiceover, and I got everything set up, got the laptop on, got everything ready to go, and then the pickle woke up from her nap and it threw me off my stride. So then I left her. I kept an eye on her, and she was just kind of grizzling and rolling around, and now she's gone back to sleep again because she hadn't been asleep for long enough. So I knew she was still tired, and if I'd have got her up now, she would have been so miserable. So 5 minutes rolling around and grizzling a bit, and she's back to sleep. Delightful, but it's just kind of thrown me off a little bit. Yeah, so I hadn't put the oven on. So then I put the oven on. Anyway, long story short, tray of yarn fell into the bottom of the oven, which is really, really annoying. Because it's annoying to clean up. And obviously then all the water came out. But I guess because I'm not using heaps of water in these trays in particular, the colour didn't seem affected by it. Because afterwards, after I rinsed it all out and blah, 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 I couldn't tell which ones that had happened to. So, but note to self, put the oven on beforehand. Which I do all the time. I had just forgotten to in this one instance. But yeah, I was very embarrassed about it. Which is why there's no clips of me putting yarn in the oven. Because I'd filmed it and then a tray of yarn fell on the floor. And I didn't want you to think I was super unprofessional. So we move. Yeah, so for the Stick of Rock colourway, I had twisted the yarn in the trays. So I didn't need to dye both sides because twisting the yarn in the tray creates resistance. Not like la résistance, but as in like in tie-dye, where you tie stuff up, blah, blah, blah. It just creates spots where dyes can't get to, and it just creates white patches. Anyway, it was intentional. This one, donkey rides. I don't think I've ever ridden a donkey at a beach, but I feel like it's a common British thing that people associate with the seaside. Like I said in the intro, I don't know how often people do it nowadays. I don't know if it's a common thing. I've never been to Blackpool, so maybe it's a Blackpool thing. But I just saw the picture and thought it would be fun to do some brightly coloured speckles. And I'm going a little off-piste with this month's minis. I'm not going strictly on what people sent through. And yeah, I just fancy doing something a bit more fun and brightly coloured than just a lot of natural beachy tones, which is beautiful because I know there are some dyers that do that and they're very, very talented at it. It's just not my vibe that I wanted to go for on this particular day. And yeah, so I flipped the yarn so I could dye the other side, and it just, yeah, I really like this technique that I did. I have done it a few times through the advent calendar as well, because I just like the effect of it afterwards. I think it looks really good, obviously using different colours. So the grey colour that I'm using for donkey rides is actually a mixture of grey and brown, just to give it a bit more of a donkey-ish colour. I don't know how. Maybe I could have used a bit more brown. I think I could have got away with using a bit more brown in it, but I still really like the colour that it came out as. So yeah, Dyeing both sides makes sure that all the mini skeins get covered, and now I'm just going to twist it down into the tray for speckling. This means that you won't just get random clumps of speckles, and also once you've speckled on yarn, you don't really want to move it until the speckles have set. So, I mean, ideally you don't want to be speckling on cold yarn, but we make it work. But once it's speckled, you do not want to move it, because that moves the speckles and then just creates either splotches or smears, and that in and of itself can be a really cool look, a really cool effect. Not what I was going for with this particular colourway. So I dyed the front, I dyed the back. I mix all my dyes in cold water just because I have cold water in the dye shed. I do not have warm water in the dye shed. Just the logistics of getting warm water down to the shed. I don't know how we would have done it. So we've got cold water and it works and it's great. And yeah. When we had our downstairs toilet put in, in May. And yeah, the plumber very kindly put in a little valve. So when the weather gets really, really cold, I can turn off the water to the dye shed, so our pipes, and then empty it so the pipe shouldn't freeze. Very exciting, very grateful that he did that. Mario, we'd been given all the parts to do it because my friend's husband is a plumber, but it's back down south where I grew up, so I can't just ask him to nip round and help me out. But he gave me all the bits to do it. Mario said, I'll do it. Then obviously hasn't done it because, well, we have a baby, and also just he's busy with his business. And if he's not busy with his business or have a baby, then he's just tired because he gets up at the crack of dawn most days. But yeah, that's fine. It's done now. So fingers crossed. I shouldn't have any freezy pipe problems this winter. We shall see. Hopefully we don't have a long period of time where it's freezing cold and icy, because it also switches off our washing machine, which, you know, not ideal, but at the same time, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. So yeah, we don't tend to get long cold spells, but it's fine. It's fine. So I'm just speckling with a bunch of different colours. We've got a bit of pink, we've got a bit of green, we've got a bit of purple, and then I'm going in, I believe, with more Colourcraft lemon, judging by the look of that tiny tub. And yeah, just to tie it in a bit more with Stick of Rock. But I do really like this effect. I think it's really nice, because when you turn the yarn over, the grey hasn't fully soaked into where I've placed it, so it has moved and just kind of dyes the bits that are undyed, so makes it a lighter grey. And I just think that's, I don't know, I just think it's nice. I think it looks good. I'm allowed to think that my work looks good, and I have just moved the camera and the microphone if all of a sudden I sound a bit different, because I was not holding it comfortably, and I wasn't thinking that far ahead when I was setting myself up for this voiceover. Apologies. But yeah, I just thought grey with the brightly coloured speckles, a little bit of fun, and just nice. This one is a relatively simple colourway. I called it Seaside Stroll. It is a relatively simple colourway, but I do think it's really pretty, and I really like how it came out. So this colourway that I'm pouring over is actually called Sand Dune, and it's just a good sandy colour. Kind of looks damp, like damp sand. It's like a damp sand colour, if that makes sense. Flipping the yarn over so I can get the back. So these mini skeins are in bundles of 5. So each of the zip ties that you see, these are reusable zip ties. I always make sure I'm using reusable zip ties. I didn't when I very, very first started dyeing, because I didn't know they existed, and as soon as I learned they existed, I saved myself 1, a lot of money, and 2, a lot of waste. The only annoying thing about reusable zip ties is washing them, because sometimes you can get dye on it, and then you put the zip tie on the yarn, and then you end up with like a random pink splodge because the zip tie had been used on pink yarn or whatever. But one of those things, that's my fault for not washing them more. Anyway, each of these zip ties has 5 mini skeins on, so I have 20 mini skeins to a tray, hence the 4 trays. I'm dyeing up 80 of each colour. And yeah, so now I'm just adding a mixture of predominantly blue, but just a little bit of green to make it a bit more sea-like. And it's quite pale in colour. I wanted to keep this one a bit more natural. We've got quite a fun bright colour with Stick of Rock. We've got colourful pops of speckling in Donkey Rides. This one I wanted just to be a bit more neutral and kind of natural kind of vibes. But yeah, so we did a zigzag of the sand dune and then filled in 2 of the triangles left behind from the zigzag with the blue colour. And obviously when you flip the yarn, the zigzag moves, but you know whereabouts you want to place it anyway. And yeah, I think this is a really pretty colourway as well. I did end up keeping one of these, so I do want to knit it up and see what it knits up like because I am intrigued. But yeah, I might add some more slots once the pickle's at nursery. Let me know if you're interested, because I kind of have to do 20 because I fit 20 mini skeins in a tray, so that's the tough bit really. Oh hey, it's the next day. Time to rinse some yarn and hang it outside. It's a beautiful sunny day. There's a bunch of baby starlings around. They're really cute because they're so brown and fluffy. And they're just kind of, there must be a bird bath nearby. And they've had a bath and now they're just sort of, or they were, now I've come outside, they've flown off, but they were just kind of warming their wings in the sun or drying off. I don't really know. It was very cute nonetheless. And then I've disturbed them by coming out here. But yes, all the yarn is dyed. I'm thinking for this month of putting the names on the label on the back of the bag. So we've got Stick of Rock, Donkey Rides, and then I was thinking Seaside Stroll or something like that. I don't want the name to be too long because I've got to fit 3 names on the back of quite a small label. So yes, I've got to just rinse this yarn and hang it outside, and try not to show you the Advent yarn that I've also got hanging outside. There's one particular colour on that I've dyed for Advent so far, of the 8 I've dyed, that is. I'm excited to dye that up on 100 grams. It looks really good. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but toot toot. Good morning, good morning. I forgot to put glasses on. How are we doing? I hope that you're well. It is now it's quite a bit later since I dyed them. It's Tuesday the 17th of June. I have twisted up all of the minis. It's been a really busy couple of weeks. We seem to have had a lot of things. People coming to see us and things to do. So work just, and they all seem to be happening on the days where Mario's not working, but not on the days where he is working. So I'm not able to do as much work as I need to. It's one of those small frustrations in life. The joys of being self-employed. So I've started, so I managed to twist them all up, which is good. and I've just printed off the labels to seal the bag, and also the mini information, and I have named them this month. I don't usually name them, usually they're just kind of one-off, you know, fun, but I did actually name them this month, because even though I asked for inspiration, I ended up going completely off-piste, so that's on me. The chicken is napping, the pickle, so I don't know how much longer she's going to nap for, so I'm just going to start bagging these up and seeing how far I get. So I've got my bags. I'm going to sit on the floor to do it. I have some really fun cycle shorts on today. You can't see them. The leopard... oh yeah, just about. No. The leopard print. It's been really hot. And it's going to only get hotter this week, which is a little bit stressful. But once again, I'm not complaining. But it's just, we've not experienced really hot temperatures with a baby before, because she was born July last year. She's nearly 1. She'll be 1 by the time this is posted. Oh, how sad. And we didn't actually have that hot of a July and August. The first couple of weeks, while the Olympics were on, when my mum came to stay up, we did have the fan blasting in the living room, but that was only for a week or so, and then it completely cooled off. It wasn't that bad. June last year was hot because I was very pregnant and not happy about it. Anyway, I'm going to stop nattering so I actually get this done. Back. The pickle woke up. She had a really long nap actually, but I managed to do half of them, which was really, really good. So I'm now up to do the other half. Mario has come home from work, so it's my time to do work now. I'm absolutely covered in baby snot because welcome to my life, and yeah, bless her, she's been crawling all over me. She's been very clingy this month, which is lovely. It's just a bit intense, isn't it? So yeah, 40 to go to pack up. Let's do this. You know how I said that to me, June is like late spring. It's not necessarily beach weather. It's late spring, but I'll do seaside anyway. So we're currently experiencing a heat wave. It's a really fun time. And yeah, it's 8 o'clock. I should have I should have been here earlier, is what should have happened. But I am up here now. I'm going to try and pack as many orders as I can today before it gets too hot for me to do anything. I came up yesterday. Mario got back from work at 1:15 yesterday. I was like, perfect. I've got these mini skeins to pack. Came upstairs, started filming. Literally under 20 seconds into the video, I thought, I can't do this, it's too hot, and I went back downstairs. It was so hot. So the goal is to just try and do as many as I can. It's going to get up to 31 tomorrow. Which, that's not hot where I'm from, blah, 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 blah. I get it. That's fine. I'm not from where you're from. I'm here. That's hot. Especially in a poorly insulated roof. According to my plasterer. I now have a plasterer. Is this being not middle-aged? Is this being an adult? I think so. Anyway, I'm packaging today, so I'm going to set all the labels to print, get them printing. I thought my camera was upstairs, so I didn't record this. It wasn't. It was on the sofa. Definitely could have done. I wrote or pre-wrote all of my cards. I'm just going to put people's names on as I get to it. It says, I do like to be beside the seaside. This is my handwriting, in case you were curious. What do you think? I've always had quite messy handwriting. Growing up, I always had very messy handwriting. But I feel like that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Anyway. Print. Oh. I've got a bit more to do to print. I'm also going to have to bust into my other box of labels. I thought I'd misplaced them. I've still not put my room back together. I know. I really need to. Started doing it yesterday when I decided I couldn't package. I carried the 3 grid wall up the stairs. Mistakes were made. It was far too hot. Oh, we're printing. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be up here. It's the 20th of June, so I actually really need these shipped. I just don't know how feasible that is because it's the temperature of the sun. And all my blue IKEA bags are used up. Farts. It's okay. I can empty some. I don't know how true this is, but apparently the US is like ripping into parcels if you don't say where your order's from, even though it's on the customs label. So I've printed off some stickers I've literally just quickly made to stick on orders going to the US, because I do not want to risk these being ripped open. And like, imagine if they did that to Advents. Like, they're even ripping into tissue paper apparently. This is according to other dyers. This isn't just me making it up. Anyway, it's already hot up here. Wish me luck. I've just checked. Not upside down. These ones, this pile, all upside down. So if you got an upside down one, it's special, it's special. my Made in the UK stickers going to go? Has that covered up everything? Sure. I'll find a spot. So I thought I'd give you a little update, let you know where I'm at, because I've just kind of been ploughing through and I was getting really cocky thinking, I've only got 20 something left, that's not that many, blah blah blah. And then I got to the, because I was counting the physical address labels, and I got to the end and thought this address is going to the US. There's no customs label. So then I checked, and for some reason it didn't print off the last 16 pages. Now that's not 16 orders, that's just 16 pages. So I've just done it now. So I'm not as close to finishing as I thought, but we're getting through. What time is it? 11:02. Oh, goodness me. It's getting a bit wham, but it's okay. We're getting it done. I'm going to keep going. I just went downstairs to refill my water bottle, so now I need to reacclimatise to the heat and crack on, basically. But yeah, we're doing it. We're over halfway through, so we're getting bits done. This one's going to Nottingham. Nottingham! Anyway, Mario and the Pickle have just got back from swimming. It's a Friday. That means swimming. And apparently they've gone on a bit of a charity shop shopping spree, so I'm about to pop down and see what they've got. He said, everyone's got new clothes, apart from Mum. So, Mum doesn't get new clothes. I wasn't there. All bar one of them packed. I say bar one because they've not received their April minis, and I can't remember if I had extra April minis or not. And I tried to look for them yesterday, but it was too hot. So I'm going to have a look for them maybe this evening, once it's cooled off a bit, or once I've cooled off a bit. It is currently 20 to 1, and I've not eaten yet today, and I'm very hungry, so I'm going to go have some lunch. I said that I needed to buy some more boxes. This is my last box. And I technically have one left to ship, so I had the perfect number. Thank goodness a bunch of people wanted theirs shipped with their orders last time. Although, oh no, those are different boxes. So yeah, I really need to order more boxes because this is my last one. This is very nice. So I'm going to go get some lunch, take these bags downstairs. And then, ooh, get them to the post office this afternoon. $78 orders. Goodness me. Oh, I'm very warm. Hi, Hannah from the future here. I've just finished editing the footage of this and realised I don't have an outro. So, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, you want to see my face pop up in your feed a bit more often, please feel free to subscribe. I post a new video here every single Friday. And if you want to see more of me, feel free to nip on over to Patreon. I post an extra video there every single week for the Biscuit Brew crew and the Chai Latte crew. We would love it if you could join us, but if you can't, that's also fine. Your support here is also incredible. Social media links and anything else that you might need can all be found in the description box below, and I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being you. Please leave a... Is there a beach emoji? Leave a beach themed emoji in the comments below. If you've got this far, I'm intrigued to see what you come up with. And I will see you all very soon in my next video.